Okay, here we go with another Judge Dredd battle report. So, Alan and I got in a quick game in our ongoing narrative campaign. Alan's trying out his new Mechanismo strike force, and he decided he wanted to have a go at my aliens gang, so we could recreate some of the scenes from the Alien vs Judge Dredd crossover. So, let's see how we go. This mission was turf grab, so it's basically a cleanse type mission from 40k, control table quarters, boot them out, seize the ground, that kind of thing. So I've got 8 alien heroes. They've got armour and cleavers, which is a big kind of choppy knife, and 3 little doggy aliens. There's Alan's Mechanismo strike force. He's got his tech judge, who I guess kind of controls the robot judges, gives them a little bit of backup and can patch them up. A Mechanismo Mark II judge, and then due to the difference in gang sizes, he gets another Mechanismo Mark II, a Mechanism Mark I, and a combat droid. So pretty much everybody in Alan's gang is armed with a heavy machine gun. Right, so we pick opposite quarters. I got to choose, and I chose the quarter with the most building rooms. Next time, I'll pick the quarter next to that one, so you've got the quarter with the most building rooms to move through to get at the enemy. And I gave Alan's team the open areas with lots of fields of fire. Not so much. Right. Here's some deployment. Here's a couple of my aliens up on corner point of the deployment line. Here's my little doggy aliens. They're kind of up front and centre, and I'm trying to paint these guys with a white undercoat and then various different shades of green and black ink, so it's a kind of work in progress idea. In some places on some of the models it's working really well, other parts less so, but getting there. Here's a couple more alien warriors, and around the other side of the building there's a big cluster. So there's about 5 alien warriors all clustered around that part of the building. Oops, that's a really blurry photo of Alan's judge and his Mechanismo. There's a couple of his mercenaries. That's the Mark I Mechanismo and Bob, who kind of looks like Wally but blue. And there's Alan's mercenary Mark II Mechanismo. They're really nicely painted, and Al's used the basing what we got from a Kickstarter a while ago. We got some what are they? They're like a negative mould in a big square that you put some epoxy putty on your base, press it in, take it out. I got a it's called Sulaco, so I got a tile on one side. It's all nice, neat, different types of sort of spaceship floor grate, and on the other side it's all banged up and ruined and bits of debris scattered across it. So I've been making a few of those as well. So there's Alan's judge. Right, so those models are really nicely painted. Here's Al's models. He gets to take the first turn and starts advancing up and spreading out into the quarters. So his Mark I guy is taking point, and Bob sort of spreads over to the left. Here's a slightly blurry shot of the Mechanismo Mark II spreading over to the what's Al's right flank. There's Bob hunkered in behind some cover there and around the corner. Here's my aliens. We're starting to go forwards. I'm using some of my alien doggies as kind of expendable minions. Now, even though my guys kind of look big and scary and all alien-y, because I'm using the ape gang as my models, because due to licensing and IP there's no actual alien rules in the game. I count as a legal citizen, which means Justice Department models actually have to try and arrest me. So I'm going to try and make Alan waste some actions arresting me before he can shoot me, because I'm not going to commit any illegal acts like shooting him, because I don't have any guns. And lo and behold, here's us sneaking around to try and get a bit closer. We're wrapping around our left flank, pushing forwards and in, and here's the aliens doggies running forwards in a sort of expendable first wave. The idea is to try and create some doubt within Al's team about whether they shoot our first wave of kind of expendable lesser or risk getting tied up while and giving the other aliens a advance. So here's the front. I'm well within assault range at this point. And this, our motion trackers are starting to go off all over the place. And yep, Al's going to start getting into his work, shortly taking his first turn.
I am the law!
Yep, so there we go. The Mark 1 judge and the other judges start making arrest checks, and two of my poor little alien minion doggies go splat, and that's pretty much what it felt like being on the receiving end of all of that heavy firepower. In general, when our guys are shooting, he's rolling 4 dice to hit, and I'm rolling 1 dice for dodging. So yeah, you tend to get pasted. So all 3 of my doggies, aliens, are taken out at this point, including one which actually got arrested. So he failed his willpower test, and as a minion he surrendered, and yep, looks like one of my supporting alien warriors has been taken out as well, so I haven't got a splat marker for that. So here we go. So my guy, alien warrior, is now flanking up. I'm looking at trying to sneak up and assault either that Mark 1 judge or the Bob, the alien. Now what I've tried to do here is be really clever and position myself just out of line of sight, but what I've forgotten about is that little Bobby, the combat droid, he can turn around and shoot me, and I'm just pretty much standing in the open there, so outsmarted myself. Here's 2 of my other aliens. They rush up to be behind that piece of fallen pillar. Yeah, I don't know, maybe Al could have pushed one of his guys back around the end to give him some cover, because here I'm in assault range and in a difficult place to shoot. In addition, one of my alien warriors there has gone stealthy, which means I need to be spotted first. One of the aliens, the one on the left, isn't. He had to run with both of his actions to get there, so he isn't sort of crouched down hiding, and this is going to give Al a bit of an opportunity in a second. And meanwhile, 3 of my aliens are now closing pretty hard on poor Mechanismo robot's position, And yep, here's a view of the centre of the Mechanismo position, and another overview looking at it from another perspective of the other side there. So yeah, you mean being sort of flanked by aliens from both positions. Yep, getting ready for the biting and hissing part of the battle. And there's a shot looking over the other side. Yeah, we've got 2 or 3 or so aliens, pretty much moving towards each of the robots. I think at this point I remember I've got an extra alien warrior hiding under one of the buildings down at the bottom of the screen. So, and yep, in that turn, Al managed to shoot and kill absolutely nothing. His guys, Bob the droid, turned around and took 2 shots at the alien who was sneaking up behind him and conspicuously failed to do anything. Alan then tried a very clever series of shots using his high X rounds. The reason for doing that is he could shoot the alien that wasn't stealthy and catch the other one in the blast, but being behind solid cover, basically that approach ended up not doing any damage. So whereas in his first turn he killed or taken out of action 4 models, in his second round of shooting he didn't actually kill any, and this proved to be a critical drop off in firepower. So in my turn, my first alien bounces over the rubble, leaps forward, and slams into Judge LaForge and bites his arm clean off. When we rolled for injuries after the battle, basically Alan needed to roll a 10 for him to die, and that's what happened, with the most serious possible arm injury that you can get. So there's Judge LaForge bleeding out on the floor. Right, and here's my aliens beginning the assault on the Mechanismo Mark II on that side. The first alien here only took him 1 action, so he charged there and he's swinging wildly with his stabby tail. Don't think he actually does anything at this point, but he does win, but the Mechanoid's heavy armour saves him from any damage. Here's a second mate joining in, and I think we get some damage through there. And yep, there we go, we take him out with the second alien's second action. Whoops. I think at this point it's just excitement's got the better of me, and one of my aliens has leapt forwards there into action with the Mechanismo Mark I, and here's a slightly less blurry photo of the aliens. That's right, the first alien leapt in to assault the Mechanismo Mark I, bounced and got kicked away but didn't suffer any damage. Here's an alien that's leapt over the big fallen pillar and is now biting him and stabbing him with his stabby tail. And right, now we're back to something without the with a bit of Steadicam in it, and yep, there we take the robot out of action. And right, in Al's next turn, he manages to put 2 wounds on that alien. Bob picking up his tracking systems and going, "Oh, they're over there, get them." Normally, two wounds is quite good to take out a hero, but aliens are made of slightly sterner stuff and have 3 as standard. So I'm bleeding there and spraying a bit of acid around, but not out of the action. Mechanismo Mark II takes me out of action there. I think I took maybe a critical hit there and just went straight out. Critical hits, of course, being double damage. So, yeah, standard execution rounds, lots of them. Turns around to try it with a second action and blammo, fails to take me out there. Oh no, does some wounds to me. So now I've got 2 wounded aliens and 2 more healthy ones closing in. And looks like we take a bit more damage. That's right, one of my guys charged Mechanismo Mark II, he turned round and smashed the alien back, inflicting a wound on it and knocking it back out of combat, making it ready for shooting. Fortunately, I was able to follow up with a second alien who managed to land a number of strikes, but all were protected by the mechanoid's heavy armour. And down the bottom, my 2 wounded aliens have turned around and leapt on combat droid Bob, who didn't last nearly so long, not being as capable as the Mechanismo units. And at that point, I think this is a closeout. 1 Mechanismo Strike Force unit is left, surrounded by a fair number of angry alien warriors. Right, so yes, at that point, Al's surviving Mechanismo Judge decided to fail his will to fight check and fell back, so game over. After the battle, Judge LaForge dies, so that meant the Mechanismo Strike Force had no